as I told you last week, today we are going to keep working with the lesson number 4, and the lesson 4 is sentence stress and rhythm. And what we are going to do, let me show you the questionnaire that I left. And that's what we're gonna work with today. So I'm going to be asking questions and you will be answering those questions. I know, Jesus Christ, I know that it's kind of breaking up over there. So let's wait at least 2 seconds. Okay, so I gave you some of the answers last week. So give me 1 second here. Okay. Just give me a moment. I'm just checking something in the platform. Okay. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so as I told you, I gave you some of the answers for these questions last week when I was explaining this. So we're just gonna go one by one. If you have the answer, you just have to raise your hand and I will give you the opportunity so you can talk. So we have question number 1 that says, what is convenient to do sometimes? And I see Kathleen, Deogracia, go on. You are on mute, Kathleen. Well, Kathleen is not there, I guess.
Okay, yes, teacher, I'm here, but I don't listen you.
Okay.
But I wanted to start. To what is common to do something? In lesson 3, we were concerned with what stress, the stressing of syllables in words of more than one syllable. Our knowledge of stress must, however, go beyond words if we are to have the complete picture. We do not really talk in words, more of the time, but in sentence or at least in phrase.
Right. All right.
Already, teacher.
Yes. Very good. Go on, Noemi. Do you have something else?
Number 1, profe.
Ajá.
Teacher. Déjame ver si la puedo leer. It is sometimes convenient, ¿qué dice?
Convenient.
However, to distinguish, ayúdese a leer ahí, between word, street, history, and sentence stress. I am glad to see you.
Right, right. Okay, let me just go on. Let me just go over this. Noemi and Kathleen talked about that, and I'm gonna do it right here. Okay, let me do it right here. They said that Kathleen said that we don't speak word by word, right? And that's right. Like if you wanna say how are you, you don't go how are you. No, you don't do that. You say how are you. You see, like a sentence, like a phrase. Okay, that is one part. Then Noemi says that it is convenient to distinguish, to separate, to set the difference between sentence stress and word stress. And that's what I told you. If you have one sentence, I don't know the one, I am glad to see you, I guess. I don't know if that was the one that you said, Noemi. But anyways, if I have a sentence and I say, and I say, I eat with you, I eat with you, right? Here in this sentence, you have, how many words do you have in this sentence? Berenice, Siberio, how many words do you have in this sentence?
4.
Cuatro. All right. Yes, that's true. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, in this sentence, there is one word that sounds more than the others. There is one word which is stronger than the others. And that is the word that has the stress, right? Now, when we say this, we are working with a sentence. And that's what we call sentence stress, right? In sentence stress, you have words and there is one word that sounds more. Now, if I give you this word, example, we have here important, okay? Now, how many syllables in a sentence we have words? In a word, we have syllables. How many syllables do we have in this word? Sabrina, how many syllables?
3, teacher.
3, right? So in these 3 syllables, there is one that sounds more than the others, right? Which is the syllable that sounds more here? You can raise your hand. Maria Stephanie, do you have the answer for that? Which is the syllable that sounds more in this word? Patricia Mendez, yes.
Uh, Pour,
Pour,
important.
right? Pour, you see, pour is the syllable that sounds more. So basically, when you have a sentence, you are working with sentence stress. And when you have a word, you're working with word stress. You see? Yeah. I don't know who's talking. But and who's talking? I don't know. Wow. Sorry guys, that person has a delay over there. Anyways, okay. What? Oh God. Let's wait for at least 5 seconds. Let's wait. Okay, it's gone. All right. Now, what I wanted to tell you is that when we are working or when we work with sentences, right? We work with sentence stress, which means that in the sentence is going to be one word that will sound more than the others. When we work with word stress, we are working with words, and that means that within the word, there will be one syllable that will sound more. That is word stress and that is sentence stress. And that's what we have to pay attention to. That's what is convenient to do sometimes, to know that there is a difference between a sentence and a word when we talk about stress. If you put a word alone, you know that you are working with sorry, not sentences, with syllables. And if you are working with a sentence, you know that we're talking about words because words create sentences and syllables create words. All right, then we have, I know that I gave you a short explanation about this last week, and we have question number 2 that says, what did lesson number 3 point? What was it? What was it? What lesson number 3 point? Maria Reyes, what do you say?
That is a great deal more difference between stressed and unstressed syllables in English than in more other languages. This is as true of sentence stress as of word stress.
Right, right. Okay, maybe you guys couldn't listen properly to her, but I understood what she said. Look, in English, there is a huge difference between the stress syllable, stress words than other languages. English is a language that you need to pause. You know the differences between stress and unstressed words or syllables when you make pauses. So English is a language that need to be spoken with I wouldn't say slowly, but I would say paying attention to when to go up and when to go down, because that has to do with the stress. I don't know if you have noticed that when that there are people who try to speak English as they speak Spanish, and then it becomes a mess, right? So that's right. Give me 1 second, please. Just a moment. Sorry, guys. So yes, that's what it is. English needs to be spoken with certain speed, not that fast, not that slow, not like Spanish. Spanish go fast, goes fast. All right, now look at this. Number 3, which is related to what we are saying right now. What happens with English pronounced with such a rhythm? What happens with English when you pronounce it with such a rhythm? That is directly related to what we are saying right now. Ani Vicente.
Um, English pronounced with social rhythm would probably not be understood.
Uh-huh. Right, right. So this means that Pamela Martinez, that if you want to speak English the same way you speak Spanish, what is it gonna happen? What do you say, Pamela?
I won't be understood, teacher.
You, right, you see,
Mhm.
because it is impossible, like the stress, the rhythm, and the intonation that we will see it in a future chapter in Spanish is very different than in English. And in English, you need to breathe when you speak, but in Spanish, you don't breathe. Like when you speak in Spanish, notice that when you start saying words and sentences, you don't stop. Like within the words, between the sentences, you don't stop, you just continue. And people understand because that's the nature of the language. All right. Okay, we have many people that really try to have a very good speech. I mean, people who try to have a very good accent, to have a very good English, but they don't get it. And in the book, it explains that there are 5 factors uh, for which people cannot get like a perfect speech or a very clear speech in English. So what are those 5 factors? Question 4, explain the parts of the problem of acquiring a good speech. Gerardo, do you have that?
Yes, teacher. The problem of acquiring a good English speech brain may may be divided into 5 parts. The first, giving proper emphasis to a stress syllable and making them the recur rate regularly within and fourth group. The second is working on stress word and syllable and obscuring the vowel and more of them. 3. Organizing word properly into 4 group by meeting of pause. The 4. Bleeding the final sound of each word and syllable with the initial sound of the one following, writing the same for group. 5. Finding the entire sentencing iron and normal intonation pattern.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all.
Right, right. So I know that the majority of you filled up the question with the answer, and that is one of those factors that is very important and that we have problems when we speak English. When I say we, I'm talking about the Spanish speakers. We who speak Spanish, we have a problem when we blend the final sounds in the English word. When I say when we blend, I mean at the end, let's take this word, that word, right? We have start. You see, we have 2 consonant sounds, which is the R and which is the T. Normally, there are many people who forget to pronounce the final consonant, the last consonant, and they will say star. And when you say star, you're talking about something else, talking about the sky, right? Take another one, word, word. You have 2 consonants over there, the R sound and the D sound. And normally, many people say word, word, word. You see, without the D, word, you need to pronounce the final sounds in English words. And that's what's gonna make the difference between you and another person who say that speak English. And that is a huge problem that we have. And I have noticed that, you know. Example, that word, good, good, d. There is a D sound at the end, d, good. Many people say good. I am good, good, good. You see, there is no sound for that at the end. So you have to be careful with blending the final sounds of a word. course, it also says that we need to make sure that we give the proper emphasis to the words or syllables that are stressed, or the words or syllables that are not stressed. For example, let's take this word over here. Let me put it a little bit bigger. That word, which is many, right? What would happen if you say many? Many. I have many friends. I have many friends. Yes, but Anissa, do you want to say something there?
Two consonants.
No, teacher.
No, okay. When you say many, many people will believe that you're saying the word, maybe you're saying another word. Like people are gonna tell you, what do you mean? Many? What is that? Mayonnaise? You wanna add mayonnaise to your bread? So you have to be careful with it. Those are two of the main points of having a very good speech in English. So be aware of that. Okay, then we have question number 5, and it says, Jovanka, this is for you. How many kinds of words are there?
This is the numbers 5, right?
Yes.
There are divided into classes: content word and function words.
All right. Yes, very good. Uh, okay. Now, can anybody define content words? Like, I mean, what is a content? Now, which are, okay? Now, which are, because I know that we have subdivisions within those groups, but what is a content word? Can you define it? Okay, we'll see new people here. Patricia Amonte, what do you say?
The content words are the ones that have meanings or on their own, and the function words are the ones that need a grammatical tense to have meaning.
Well, yes, like the what they do is only a grammatical function, basically. The function words, as their names say. Yes, that is true. Very good. All right. Now, yes, within those kinds of words, within them, because there are a group, like an umbrella group, and within that group, we have subgroups. Like there is a subdivision of group of words, which I said last week that that's the grammatical name of the words. So what is included in the content words? Let's see. I'm going to ask people that haven't participated then. Let me see. Luis Espinal from Jessica, tell us. Are you there, Luis?
Me?
Luis Espinal,
Yes, I am.
go on.
All right, content words usually stressed include nouns, verbs, with the few exceptions listed under function words, adjective, adverbs, and demonstratives like this, that, these, and those.
Right,
Interrogative like who, when, why, etc.
right, right. So you see, guys, those are the groups, as Luis said, that belong to the content words. Nouns, adjectives, adverbs, demonstratives, interrogative, verbs, right? Those are the main groups. Those are the content words. That means that when they appear in a sentence, those are the words that sound more. Those are the content word. Those are the words that have stress when you see them. Now is of course now it's difficult for you to know because you need to internalize, you need to learn by memory the groups of words and to what category they belong, if they belong to content or if they belong to function. And it's very important that you learn that. I told you, memorize it because we are going to work with that. If you don't know which is a content and which is a function, you will have problems from now on. But take your time, study, and learn the groups of words. We have the question number 8 that says, what do include function words? And let's see if we have Milady Morillo. Are you there?
Yes, teacher, I'm here. Yes, the function words usually unstressed included possessive adjective, my, his, your, and so on. So and on. Relative pronoun, who, that, which, and so on. Common conjugations and but, that, as, if, and so on. The fourth is one used as a noun substitute or substitute.
Substitute.
As in the red dresses and the blue one.
All right. All right. Yes, very good. You gave a list of them. Like those words that are related to grammar, right? All the pronouns, all type of pronouns. It doesn't matter if it is object, if it is subject, or as we call it, if it is a personal pronoun, if it is a complementary pronoun, if it is a possessive pronoun, all pronouns are function words, all of them. And prepositions as well, be careful. Now, I wanna show you and pay attention to this example because this is the only time that I'm going to explain this to you. This is the only time that I will explain that to you. It says that the relative pronouns are what? What are the relative pronouns? Content or function? What do you say, guys?
Function.
Function words.
Function. Function.
Function words.
Yes, we said it. All pronouns are function. And what about the demonstratives? What are they? Content or function?
Content.
Contents.
Con-
Content.
Content words, right? Oh, here is the problem. Demonstratives. Okay. Now check this. Let's see if I can change the format. Okay. Let's just go here in 14. Okay. Now see this. Relative pronouns. Can you go back to the book and tell me at least 2 of the relative pronouns?
Who,
Huh?
that,
Yes.
and which.
Which? And there are more because it says etc. or more, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Of course, we will have these, we will have those, etc., etc., etc. What about demonstratives?
This.
Okay. Yeah.
That, those.
Okay.
Your, no,
Very. Demonstratives, right? And we are missing one group. interrogatives? Content or function? What do you
Content.
content?
Content.
Okay. And what interrogative words of question words do you know?
Who, when, why.
Yes. Why, etc. Right? Now I want you to check the three groups of words that I gave you. Remember that relative pronouns are function, demonstrative content, and interrogative content. What do you see in common in the three groups? Check the examples there. What do you see?
Relative. So,
Go on, Noemi, yes. The relative, right?
rela- so.
We don't understand what you say, Noemi, because there is a lot of noise over there. And also, we don't know if you're talking to us. Jovanka, you have your hands up.
No, teacher.
Okay. Well, maybe you don't see what I see over there. Gerardo, yes?
Relative and interrogative.
Yes. So I don't know if you see which is the word that is repeated and where.
Yes, teacher. In relative pronouns, we have that, and in demonstrative, we have that.
Yes.
And relative pronouns, we have who, and in interrogative content, we have who.
Okay. So you see.
And we have which, and we have which. Yes,
Yes.
teacher.
Right.
La manera en que las personas se comunican para que se entienda mejor según el tiempo, la cosa avanza.
Maria Linette, do you want to tell us what you're talking about? Jesus Christ. Guys, be careful with your microphone. We've been taking classes for so long and you still unmute your microphones. When you are, look, I will tell you right now what is the problem with the microphones. I'll tell you right now. The problem with the microphones is that when you are in a meeting, you need to focus on your meeting. You cannot be talking to anybody around. You cannot be watching television. You cannot be in a place where there is a lot of noise. You need to focus on your meeting. And if you are focused on your meeting and looking up on your screen, you will not have problems with your microphone. That is the problem that we have when we're teaching online, that people don't focus on what they have to focus. That's the problem. That's it. That is the problem with the microphone. If one person is taking classes online in a video conference and we have to call that person the attention because of the microphone, is because that person is not paying attention to the class. It doesn't matter whatever you say. You're not paying attention because you're getting distracted. I have my microphone open right now. What about if I mute it by mistake? Like if I'm talking to a person and I mute it, you will not listen to me. And that will let you know that something wrong is going on this side. So yeah, be careful with your microphone and focus on your class. Please, that's for your own sake. All right, I forgot what I was saying. But anyways, here I am. If you notice, there is the words overlap, right? In the relative pronouns, we have words that are content, who, right? That, but we need to know when we see the word, we need to know the position and the function of the word. for you to know if it is content or if it is function. I will give you a very easy example with a few sentences, maybe 3 sentences. That is the class that I like. We have the word that. Is this function or is this content? What do you say? What do you say? Content or function? What do you say, Carlos?
Contents.
Content, right? The question now is why? Why is content?
Because we are demonstrating someone something.
That's it. That's it. You are showing something, right? You are showing. When you say that is the class that I like, you're showing, you're demonstrating. And this is a demonstrative pronoun. How do you know that that is a demonstrative pronoun? Because after the pronoun, you need to have a verb. You see, that is. Whenever you conjugate a verb with any of these words, that's what we call a demonstrative. So that is content word. But I will give you another sentence then. She told me that she loves you. The same word in a different sentence, in a different position. Is that content or function word?
Function words.
It is a function word. You know why? Do you guys know why it's a function word? You have 2 reasons over there, 2 reasons.
Teacher,
Yes, Jovanka, go on.
because you are not like demonstrating anything, and you
Uh-huh.
are not like like making a question. So I think
Uh-huh.
that's why it's relative.
One question, how do you know that I'm not demonstrating anything in there? How do you know? You are right, you are correct, but I just want to know how, like how is it that we can tell? How is it that we know that?
Because there is not a verb after that word.
Because there is not a verb right after that word. What we have is another word which is not a verb. So that's right, we know that that's not a demonstrative pronoun, right? And the other reason is because this is related to something. She told me that she loves you. This is related. That's why we call it relative pronoun. This is related to something. You see? Let's do one more. Let's do one more. One more. Uh, okay, give me a second here. Okay, we have it here. Now this is tricky. Be careful with this one. Let me give you the other. We have 2 cases. We have the word who. Who can be a relative pronoun and who can be an interrogative. Now, in the first one, Is who content or function word? What do you say?
Function word. Me teacher.
Yes.
Okay. It's a function works because he demonstrate that she works here.
Uh-huh. But is it demonstrating or is this related to something?
¿Cómo es? Relative.
Related.
Irrelative pronouns. Yeah.
Okay, so you see that's a relative pronoun. That's right. It is a function word. Do you remember what I said at the beginning? All type of pronouns are function words. If it is a pronoun, it doesn't matter. It is function. It doesn't matter what is in front. It doesn't matter what is behind in this case. So here we go. Who is the youngest here? Is that content or function? Yes, Patricia Almonte, what do you say?
Content word.
Content word, yes, that's true. Because it is an interrogative. It's a word that you use to ask questions, to create questions. You see, I stopped here because I wanted you to see that there's some words that they belong to any of the groups depending on what they do, depending on the position or what they represent in the sentence, right? Okay, I'm going to give you the answer. I'm gonna give you the answer for question number 10 right now because we are here. We are here right now and I want you to see it just right there. We said that verbs are what? Content or function? What do you say? Content, function, verbs. Give me a second. Let me give this opportunity.
Content.
Oh, you took it. Okay, that's okay. So
Sorry.
that's all right. Content. Okay. For example, we have sleep, we have work, we have study. What else? Hold on. What did I do? We have,
We have eat.
eat. Yes. All right. And so on and so on. But question number 10 gives you a list of words that are normally obscured. Obscured means on stress, okay? On stress. That's what it means. Another person, right, with a microphone. Okay, so obscure means on stress, right? Remember, stress is force and unstressed is not force. Weaken, to weaken the word is when you take the force away. All right. Now we have the auxiliaries. What do you say auxiliaries are, content or function? That's cool.
Function.
You say function?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me at least 2 or 3 auxiliaries that you know?
Work.
Work is an auxiliary?
Me teacher.
Yes. Give me one auxiliary.
Can.
Okay. What about you?
Tú,
Yes, give me 1 second. Jorge Indio, what do you say? Can you give me one auxiliary?
Profe, yo puedo decir uno.
Yes, after Jorge Indio, let's see. Jorge Indio, are you in this class or is only a ghost of you? I believe Jorge is not here. Go on. Who was that, Noemi? Was it you?
Se puede poner, déjame ver, would,
Would is an auxiliary. Yes,
no, or
yes,
should.
yes, all of that. Would,
Okay.
should, could.
We
Yes.
Could, may,
Wait,
may,
Noemi, that's it. That's it. Very good. There are more people who want to talk. You want to get all the points. I see.
Will teacher too?
Will, can I
have,
can I add that one too?
have,
Yes, yes. And so,
we,
and so on.
we,
I'm gonna stop it there. Okay.
may podría ir ahí, profe.
Do you believe
May.
make is an auxiliary?
Mm.
Make is not an auxiliary. Make is only a regular, not a regular. It's only a simple verb there. So if I have the auxiliaries in the bottom, do you believe that I could take all of them and put them here? You say,
Yes, teacher.
right? So basically, the ones that we have here, the verbs that are content words, are the same as we have here. Well, this one doesn't go there, okay? That one doesn't go there. So basically, I can put the majority of them in the verbs, right? That are content, but I can put them here in auxiliaries that are function. So you have to be careful. The verbs also have a double, what would I say? They go into the two groups. You will need to know what's going on in the sentence. You will need to know if it is an action, right? A verb, or if it is only an auxiliary. Let's take one example. Let's take one example here. I have 3 brothers. And Jesus Christ. And I have been with your brothers. What's going on with brother with me? In example 1, in example 2. As you can notice, we have the same word in both sentences. I have 3 brothers and I have been with your brothers. Which is function and which is content is the question here. What do you say, Berenice?
The number 1 is a content word. And the second one is an auxiliary function.
You see, very easy. Don't get confused. Don't get confused. That's it, right? Okay, well, let me give you another example, which we don't have that one over there. Well, what's going on here? I'm gonna put it without the number. And I'm gonna give this opportunity to Pamela Martinez, my cousin.
I know it.
Yes,
So
I am happy I am working here.
I am happy will be the content,
Uh-huh.
and I am working here will be the function, I think. Am
Why?
I right?
Why the
Well,
second one?
I am happy will
Uh-huh.
be because you're talking about me, how I feel.
Is that
And
an act? Is that an action? To be?
I'm sorry.
Are you sure? When you do something. What do you do to be you?
I mean because I am happy because I feel like it. So it's me, right? I'm right.
You're right. You're right.
Oh, thanks
But
God.
yes, I choose you because look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Verbs are not only action, they're also states. Like for you to be like, okay, let's forget about happy because we're not talking about happy. We're talking about am, right? Which is the verb.
Mm-hmm.
And for you to be, because you can say, I am Pamela, right? I
Mm-hmm.
am Pamela. To be Pamela, you don't need to do anything. You are Pamela since you were born and your mother and your father decided to call you Pamela.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what you do. You don't need to do anything to be Pamela because that's you since the beginning. That's
Mm-hmm.
why many people get confused because they think that verbs are only actions. Verbs are also states, like, to be happy, angry, sad. Those are states. And yeah, that is a content word. You are correct. The question is here in the second one, why am is a function word?
Because it's something I'm doing, it's an action, I think.
Do you believe that
It's
am
because
is
of
an
that.
action there? Like it's not only for you, man, like it be for everybody. Don't worry.
Bec-
Do you think
Okay.
that
Se charre otro.
do you think that am is an action or a state over there? Do you believe that?
Profe, ¿usted lo puede explicar un poquito en español? O sea, yo estoy como confundida ahí.
But Noemi, all of you are confused, not because of if it is in English or in Spanish. It's because you don't know something very important here. Maria Reyes, what do you say?
I think it's an action.
Do you believe that am is an action there?
Yes.
Then I have to ask you a question. What is working then? What is working?
That's
The verb.
Oh, hold on,
work.
wait.
Oh, I'm sorry, sorry.
If working is
That's
if working is a verb, then am cannot be an action because in English you cannot use two verbs one after the other. Not even
no, the action is working.
oh, if action is working,
Yes.
then what is am is the question.
It's the auxiliary.
Yes. What for you to know this, you only need to think about what is the time, what is the tense of this sentence. What is the tense of this sentence? The tense, the time, in what time is it?
In present.
What
Present.
present? What present?
Progressive.
Same.
Progressive.
Oh, okay. So we know that this is in present progressive. How do you know that it is in present progressive? How do you know?
Because we have
Because
ing.
it is something that I'm doing
No, I
in the
know,
moment.
but you see the sentence, you read it right now, and physically, like what you see, how do you know that this is in present progressive and not in simple present? You see?
Oh my goodness.
For the conjugation of the verb.
Yes, that is true. So look at this. Let me break this down. Okay, let me see if I can leave less space. No space, right? And let's put it a little bit here. See this. See this. First one, simple present. Second one, present progressive. What do you see in here that you don't see here? Tell me, what do you see here, right, in the second that you don't see in the first one? There are two things in there, two of them.
The verb and the place.
Okay, the
The verb.
what? Which one? Which is the verb there?
Working.
Working. Okay. You have, someone said the ing form, that is one thing. And the other thing is that you have two verbs together. In English, you cannot have two verbs together. If you see two verbs together in a sentence, that means that one is the action verb and that the other is the auxiliary verb. And we said that auxiliaries are function and the action verbs are what? Content. There are two types of verbs. We have the action verbs, action, you see, and the auxiliary verbs, because they're verbs, all of them. The difference is that when there are an action, there are content, and when there are an auxiliary, there are function. And you need to know that when you see two verbs together in any sentence, one is going to be the auxiliary and the other is going to be the content word, the action verb. Let me give you another sentence just in case. Maria has talked to me. How many verbs do you see together in this sentence? How many do you see?
Two.
Two of them. And you know what that means? That one is the auxiliary verb and that the other is the action verb. So you have two verbs together. One has to be content and the other one has to be function. And okay, you say talked is the action, right? That's the content word. Then we have has. What is the meaning of has in there? What does has mean? That's a question for you, anybody. What is the meaning of has over there?
A ver.
Auxiliary.
A ver,
A ver, but that's in Spanish, that's not in English. That's the translation, esa es la traducción. Una gente en inglés no sabe qué es lo que a ver, right? But in English, what is the meaning of the word in the sentence?
Past participle.
Oh, or are you sure? Has. The past participle is
Can I
talked.
say?
Yes, Pamela Martinez, my cousin, go on.
I think that the meaning of the verb there se me olvidó.
Uh-huh.
Ay, Dios. Haga la pregunta otra vez, prof.
Okay. You
Ask
know
the
that
question again.
you,
Sorry.
you know that talked is the action verb. So has is the auxiliary. But what is the meaning of has over there? Like, what is it doing? What is the function? What lets you know?
That is something that happened.
Yeah, yes, that is true. But in grammar,
But it's not the answer.
that's not the answer. In grammar, what is it doing? Like, remember about when I asked, how do you know that this is simple present? How do you know that this is present progressive?
Teacher me.
Yes, go on, Jovanka.
That is, ay Dios mío. Oh my God, I lost the idea.
I know what you were gonna say. I know. But
Teacher,
Maria Lynette is going to assist you. Go on, Maria.
yes, I think that is present perfect.
Yes,
That,
Maria. Yes. Yes and yes. The only function of has over there is letting you know that that sentence is in present perfect. That's the only function, nothing else. You see? Because when you learn the present perfect, it tells you that you form it with the auxiliary have plus the past participle of the verb. So has or have in there has only one function, which is letting you know the time of the sentence, the tense of the sentence. That's right, it said that the function words have no meaning other than the grammatical purpose. You know, what they do is letting you know what grammar, when, which, how. That's what they do. And for them to make sense, they need to have next to them a content word. Because then I'm gonna tell you, okay, check this. If I say Maria has, and I take away the content word, what do you say? What is the meaning of that sentence now? Maria has to me, has what? You see, it doesn't make sense by itself. You need the combination of content and function words. Like content words cannot be function words, sorry, cannot be alone. They need a content one next to them or around them for you to make sense to people, to whatever you say. Now, yes, now ask your questions so I can answer. Noemi, ask your questions so I can clarify. What are the questions that you have?
Pro- Ay, estaba perdida un poco ahí en la forma que se usan cuando son, ya sé lo que es auxiliar, o sea,
Ajá, ajá.
cuando se estaba, y o sea, no, la pregunta que usted estaba haciendo de contents, no sé,
Ajá.
cuando son
Content y cuando es
¿cómo?
function.
Ajá.
Está sencillo. Es function word cuando es un auxiliar y es content
Sí,
cuando es un verbo que implica una acción.
sí, yo entendí ya.
Well, pues tú no tenías pregunta. Wow, Noemi, very good. Noemi is very active. Noemi, if you feel lost one day, that's right, we have Google Maps. You heard? I'm just kidding, Noemi. You know that we use Google Maps when you don't know how to get to a place, you know, when you are lost. But I was just kidding, yeah. You can,
Ay,
yes, you can ask your questions whenever you want to. All right. Okay, well, we're gonna finish then with the last question, which is question 9. I was talking to you about question 10 because that included the words, the verbs that are normally obscure are the auxiliaries. When they become auxiliaries, they become function words. When there are actions, they are content words. You know, very easy. Like that's not a big thing for you to learn that. Okay, we have in English words that we normally use. Can anybody tell us which are the 10 words that we use the most in English? English.
Yes, teacher.
Berenice Silverio.
We use the,
Mhm.
of, and, to, a, in, that, it, is, and I.
Right. Listen, when we speak, uh, in 90% of the cases, we say at least one of those words. You say, what I mean is, in a conversation, in a normal conversation, you will use almost all of them because those are the words that we normally use. For example, I is one of the ones that we use the most because people are eccentric. Like people like to talk about themselves and say what they do, what they like, what they don't like, you know? So I is one of the words that we normally use a lot. I don't like it, I don't do it, I went, I didn't go, etc., etc. You know? So human beings are I persons. That's what it is. And that's it. That's it. If you have a question, ask now. If not, next week or from tomorrow on, if I don't forget, we are going to work with a lesson number 5. And lesson number 5 is going to talk about the intonation. We're gonna learn a little bit about intonation, but don't forget to study the content and the function words because that is 100% related to the intonation. And that's it, guys. We've been here for 1 hour and 20 minutes. Wow. Do you have any other questions?
Interesting class, teacher.
And you will see next one. You will see.
Mm.
All right, so guys, take care. Don't go out. It's raining. And you know, there are a lot of flu around. So you're going to catch a cold and be careful with COVID.
Thank you, teacher.
All right, see you then.
You teacher, bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.
You
Good
too.
night.
Hi, teacher.
Goodbye.
Good night, teacher.
Good night.
Good night.